This is part 4 of the 10 points of contact that the enemy can use to attack you in your dreams and in your real life. Point number 7 is animals and insects. Animals and insects, and really what it is that they use this, so the enemy being witches and warlocks, or people that the enemy can use through being a witch or a warlock, right? Through animals and insects, and what it is that they can disguise themselves as an animal. For example, a cat, which means a witch. So if you see a cat in your dreams, that's a witch, whether she was black or she was white, as in the cat itself was black or white. It doesn't matter the colour, it is a witch. Especially if you notice what kind of interaction are you having with the animal in the dream that is coming to attack you. That even, it might even actually not just be an always attack, it's not always negative. It might be that it's being, the cat is being playful with you. Even you playing with the cat, it's a deception to show you that because it seems playful, it seems good, it seems fine, that there's no problem with it, but that's not always the case. And it might be that you have a pet in real life, that a cat, for example, or a dog, and you see yourself interacting with your dog. And again, take it case by case, dream by dream, for how you feel within the context of the dream, like what's going on. Did you feel any negative energy, that even if the dream was good, but then did it progress onto something bad from directly after you had the good interaction there, if that makes sense? Like, let me just be clear. Because what it is, right, yeah, it's all about disguise and deception. It's all about not showing themselves as really who they are, to deceive you into thinking that this is someone else or this is something else that you won't like. They want to hide who they really are. They can't reveal the real them as who they are to you. Otherwise it's too obvious. It's easy to attack you through your dreams than in real life. In real life, you're going to catch on quicker to it. That if you notice, for example, even in my own case, my own experiences that I've had with cats in real life and in my dreams, but in real life, they're approaching me. But in a way, like, have you ever noticed like a cat, just from even the way that it moves, its body language is like an actual human being? Like, has that never occurred to you? That like it's actually disturbing. You run towards it as it's running, as it's coming to you, run towards it, and it's gonna scare it away. Other people might deal with it in a more violent way, which I'm not condoning it. But for example, you throw a rock at the cat, straight away it's gonna run away, isn't it? But if you think about in your dreams, through your subconscious actions within your dreams, that basically it lasts longer, number one. That there's not always going to be something there straight away you can use to attack back the cat, to fight back. That's in some instances you just have to literally, you have to run away, you have to get away from the danger. That you can't always be there to fight. Like some battles are beyond us, that there will be a time to fight back, but there's also a time to get away from the danger and run away. That you do have to know, you have to cover yourself, you have to, you know what I mean, do what you need to do to get away from that, right? And in the dreams, it lasting longer, it's easier for them to, these evil spirit forces, it's easier for them to attack you in your dreams and in real life through the animals, through the insects, because in the dream it lasts longer, and not just it lasting longer, but because that's their natural habitat of being within the spiritual realm, because they're spirit forces, that's their natural habitat. Therefore they are stronger, they have more power and strength in where their natural habitat is, in the spiritual realm, through your dreams, coming directly to you to attack you, right? They thrive better because their powers are stronger there. And for example, if you think about like a human example, for example, no, but like a human, seriously speaking, like a human example would be like, say you're boxing, say you're a boxer in real life. Your punches, they're not going to, or how can I say, like say you're having a fight in your dream. Have you ever noticed like you're putting your all into that punch, but for some reason it's just not connecting as much as it would in real life? Why? Because really we're physical beings. We're all spirits at the end of the day. We're just carrying, we are carried within our physical bodies, right? But like if you think about the strength that you would have in real life as a boxer, say you're having that punch, it connects more than in the spiritual world. For example, like running in your dreams. Have you ever noticed that? It's like you're running and running and running. You don't get out of breath like that, and like you have more energy to even run more so than you would in real life. Why? Because as a physical being, you have more, or how can I say, we are spirit beings, but we live physically. We are, how can I say, we have more power in the physical world because this is our natural habitat. Spiritual beings have more power in the spiritual realm because that's their natural habitat. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So them attacking you within your dreams, because it can also be in real life with the animals and insects, but more so in your dreams, that they have more power there, that they can disguise themselves, that literally people can take on the form of a dog, a cat, a bear, a bird. Because yeah, what are the examples? Hold on. So yeah, we've got cats, these dogs, birds, bears, spiders, flies, bats, mice, pigs, and vermin, and any other insects as well. And another thing, that you will even see strange creatures that you've never seen before in your real life. What we see and what we experience in real life is exaggerated even more in the spiritual realm. So don't even think it's strange that when you see yourself as well, sometimes in an unfamiliar place, that it means confusion, number one, but also number two, that it's because things just look differently in general in your dreams than in real life. Dogs represent the spirit of lust, and with lust, okay, so before we go to the spirit of lust, so the dog, the interaction that you could be having in the dream is that it bites your hand. A dog biting your hand is a sign of betrayal from someone close, from a friend, from, well, if it's betrayal, then it would have to be someone close enough for you to feel the betrayal, isn't it? You would have to care about it enough for it to affect you, to be a betrayal, because a stranger can't betray you. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, if they're biting your hand, or even any other animal, biting your hand is a sign of betrayal. I would advise you sincerely to pray against it. You can ask God, who is this person behind this animal, behind this dog, cat, mouse, pig, bat, whatever, like, ask God who is the person. He will show you who the person is. Dogs are symbolising the spirit of lust, so not only just betrayal, but also the spirit of lust, which is what is a strong desire, a strong sinful desire to do the wrong thing that leads to immoral thoughts and actions, but not also that. It can also be defined as a wrong desire for something good. For example, gluttony. So really wanting, not even just really wanting, but also, you know, when you get like a craving for a certain food, or like, you know, when you say to yourself, oh, I'm dying for a kebab, or I'm dying for a chocolate bar or some cake, or I'm really craving some chicken, I'm really, like, no. Sorry, these examples, no, but seriously speaking, like, that is the spirit of lust. You really want that food, you'll do anything to get that food, you feel like if you don't get it, you're gonna die, which obviously you're not going to, but this is just an example, do you know what I mean? Anything in excess, like excessively exercising, excessively, just even addiction, is also carried through by the spirit of lust. Because why so badly do, like, you feel like if you don't get this thing, you're not going to be able to function, you're not going to be able to, like, you can't eat before having this thing, you can't function before having this thing, you can't work before having this thing, you can't get up out of your bed before having this thing, you can't step out the house without having this thing, you can't having this thing or doing this thing. It could also be overworking as well, can be a spirit of lust. Overall, it's the passions of the flesh, like seeking the passions of the flesh more so than letting your spirit man within you speak through, instead letting that voice, like hearing that voice louder than your spirit man, hearing that voice of the spirit of lust. Because yeah, it's not just geared towards bad things, but also could be good things, but in excess, because at the end of the day, too much of anything can make you sick, too much of anything is not good. The dog just being there, whatever the interaction is, it signifies a spirit of lust. Like, even if you're playful with the spirit, but like, analyse what happens after that interaction. in your dream, more specifically what happened. Because in real life, that they can also, yeah, they can come to you in real life. More so as a cat, because cats are witches. They are. Not every single one, not every single, like, again, discernment. Have that discernment there. That not every single cat that you see is a witch. Not every single interaction you have with a cat means it's the witch is trying to, no, that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is you have to analyse for yourself, what does this mean? Add up the dots from what did you see in your dream? What has been happening already? What generational curses do you know that is already on your bloodline? What curses are there on you as an individual? What sins do you need to break away from? What, like, analyse also, like, why would they have a legal ground there, access to you in the first place? Why are they coming? Because they're not coming for no reason at the end of the day, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Because they could be coming to you to attack you because you're a target, because why you threatened the kingdom of darkness, right? So really, it's a good cause, but they're coming to attack you, to derail you from your path of fulfilling the purpose on your life, right? As God has called you to become. Or if it's a bad thing, it could be that a certain sin in your life, and I'm sorry that this is just the truth, yeah, a certain sin in your life that you're engaging in, that you have been engaging within for a long, long time. It could also be that's why they have that access there as well. That's why they're coming, and not to attack you, but to even to make themselves comfortable around you too. Because with them coming, they're bringing their presence with them. They're bringing their energy. They're bringing their spirit forces with them. They're bringing their malintentions, their bad intentions for you, around you, making themselves comfortable. Because what it is as well, that when we're comfortable in sin, the devil, he's not going to attack you or attack us as much. Why? Because that's what he wants, and there's no problem with that. And he knows that ultimately that's going to lead you to destruction, where he's going as well. And that's the goal for him. He wants to bring you with him. He wants to take you down to where he's going. If the devil knows this is not a problem to me, this is not like just let her or let him keep doing what they're doing, because really it's benefiting him. That's why he's not going to be bothered to come and attack you, because why, you're not a threat to him, because you're already willfully doing these things that please him and not God. You could also see lions in your dream, which could signify the presence of the devil, but it could also be Jesus. In 1 Peter 5 verse 8 it says, "Keep your senses, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking to devour someone." So analyse the context of the dream. Like, I'm always going to emphasise context and how you feel, how it makes you feel, right? The roaring lion, did it come to you? Was it literally roaring? Did it really make you feel scared? Because there's a good fear and there's a bad fear, like the fear of God, but the fear of evil. That in your dream, was he roaring towards you, or did he have a calming presence? That maybe you did feel a fear, because even me recently, oh my God. So basically on Valentine's Day, I woke up, oh my God. So I woke up, yeah, even now, like, even just the thought of it is crazy to me, yeah. But yeah, I had a dream that basically there was a lion, like the lion was walking towards me, but it was indoors, but at my parents' home. It was indoors, the lion was walking towards me, and first of all it came out of nowhere, which was just a shock in itself. It came out of nowhere, and then like as soon as it was there, I felt fear within me, but because at first I didn't know, because I've never had a dream of a lion before. I didn't know, like, it coming towards me, that is this something from the enemy or is this God? Like, it didn't feel, at first it didn't feel like God, I'm not gonna lie. It didn't feel like this is the presence of Jesus, which I had no clue about, like the Lion of Judah. I didn't know, right? It's walking towards me, and I'm just there like this, and I looked to my brother and I was like, no one move, like no one, like don't make any sudden movements, because if he now comes to attack us, like, that's it, like, what are we gonna do? It's not funny. It's not funny. Yeah, so he walked towards me and I'm like, look, like, don't move. And I had my hands like just on my I had my hands just on my legs like this, just like a statue, like don't move. It came towards me, it sniffed my hand, and I'm looking at it like this. It sniffed my hand, and then it just looked at me, and then it just walked away. And then I felt a sight a sense of relief, like just leave me, but I was still scared, but it was a righteous fear because I had to wake up from that dream and ask God, like, what was that? Like, what was that? I've never had an experience like that before. Like, Lord, what does it mean? And he showed me through some research that I did, right? He showed me, what does it mean that it's the Lion of Judah. He wasn't roaring, but from his presence you could feel a sense of authority. You could feel a sense of, like, he didn't even need to do much. Like, all he did was walk. And even in his walk, it was just so majestic. It was just so, like, how can I say, like, you know when you hear the voice of God, like, audibly, it's gentle, but it's firm. Not that it scares you, but it's, there's an authority with it. There's a, like, even if he just says one word to you, like, you feel it, but it's gentle. I can't describe it. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. You will feel it, but it's calm, but it's firm. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I felt in the energy, even of the lion walking towards me. Like, all he had to do, he didn't even need to make any sudden movements. He didn't need to run. He didn't need to roar. He didn't need to, like, he could have done anything, but he didn't need to do any of that. He was just so calm. And that's another thing, like, yeah, just assess the character of the animal coming towards you, whether it's a lion, whether it's a dog, a cat, a bird, a bear, a spider, a fly, a bat. Well, obviously the bats and the mice and the pigs is more obvious as to, this is not very good. Because even you have pigs that in the, in Matthew 12 verse 43 to 45, it literally says that when Jesus, he cast out there was an evil spirit in a man, in a possessed man, and he cast the spirit into the pigs, into the swine, right? That really and truly, yeah, with that we shouldn't be eating pork. That it's not good to be eating pork because of the spirit that is within. That's why I believe that the Bible says that we shouldn't, pork is not, it's not something good to eat. Like, we're not supposed to eat it. We're not supposed to eat it. And even me, I've had myself where I've stopped eating it, but then I started eating it again. I stopped again, but then I started again. And it's just like, oh, make your decision of you're going to continue with this knowing that it's not good, or you're just going to stop. And there's other things to eat. I'm not saying now be a vegetarian, but like, you know what I mean? There's other things to eat. You can have there's chicken, sausages, because I really love sausages. But they're like, no, there's other options, isn't there? You can have chicken, sausages, you can have beef, you can have lamb, you can have, no, but you know what I mean? Like, there's other options, but also I believe, like, that's why also it tastes so good as well. It's like, how do I stop eating something that tastes so good, Lord? Like, you know what I mean? And in that, I see where there's a deception. And just in general, like, you notice, like, in supermarkets, salad is more expensive than junk food, crisps, chocolates, biscuits, sweets. Why do you think it's so cheap? Because really and truly, even the health industry in general, they don't really, they profit off of us being sick. They profit off of the hospitals being full. They profit, like, I'm really sorry to say, but they profit from funerals. They profit from people's deaths, where they're doing even organ donations. They're doing transplants of all sorts. That, let's not get too deep into it, but like, do you see what I'm trying to say here? That in this world, like, we are, how can I say in this world, the good looks bad and the bad looks good, or it's portrayed in a certain way that, like, just basically things are done on purpose is what I believe. Why should healthy food be more expensive than junk food? It don't make sense. It don't make sense, but it does. If you think about the ultimate goal of really the devil, he runs the world, he does. God ultimately is in charge, right? But the devil, he wants to cause destruction in everywhere, every area, from food to our physical health, to spiritual health, to what we wear, to what we put on our bodies, like really what we're intaking into our bodies. From what even the creams, like there's something in everything at the end of the day, from even deodorants that can cause cancer in your armpits. from even, you know, the sprays that are toxic. There's so many things that we could really go on and on. Like this is not what this video is about, but like, no, just seriously speaking though, do you see what I mean? Like the devil, he wants to cause destruction to us in any way, in every way, shape and form. That's why we have to be vigilant. We have to be really careful of what we are taking into our bodies, because at the end of the day, yeah, everything has something in it, but you may as well go for the something that has maybe 5% than the 20, 50, 70%, if that makes sense. Like, do you get what I mean? Oh, Jesus. Anyway. Anyway. So yeah, I also wanted to mention that, yeah, Jesus can also, you can also see, like, Jesus is also portrayed as the Lamb of God as well as the Lion of Judah. Which, how do you think, how can you be a lamb and a lion at the same time? How do I explain this? So when he died on the cross for us, right, that was a sign, because even before his death, Jesus was a humble, very humble person. Like, as a sign of humility, he's taken on the form as a lamb. And maybe I'm not the best person to explain this, but like, how can I say? How can I say, Lord? So in Genesis, right? So in Genesis 49, Jacob is telling all of his sons, like, this is what is basically making a proclamation to all of his sons. This is how your future is going to be. This is what's going to happen to you. And when he got to Judah, basically he had 12 sons. So Judah, when he got to Judah, he's basically saying that, Judah, you are the lion's cub. Your future is going to be bright. I'm just paraphrasing here. If you want to go for the full, because it is quite lengthy, I'm not going to lie. The full Genesis 49, if you want to go for the full insight on that, you can go there. But yeah, he's basically telling him, like, your life is going to be prosperous. You are going to succeed. You are going to do well. Everyone coming from your lineage, so basically the sons of Judah, they are going to carry the blessings that have come from you as well. That it's going to carry on, because think about it again, bloodline to bloodline, things pass on, whether good or bad. They pass on. They carry it down, right? So yeah, he's telling him, this is how your life is going to go, right? And where does Jesus come into this? Jesus comes into this because he was a descendant of the tribe of Judah. It goes all the way down to literally, so David was included in this lineage, Solomon, Joseph, like, it goes all the way back down to Joseph, who was Jesus's earthly father. How is it that he's the Lion of the Judah then? Like, where does that come into it? It comes into it because if Jacob, his father, is telling Judah, this is who you're going to be, this is what's going to happen in your life and whatnot, and even your descendants they're going to carry this as well. So it comes into it that because Jesus was a part of Judah, he is a descendant of Judah. He came from him. That means he's carrying that too. That's why if you see a lion in your dreams and he's calm, it might scare you a little bit at first, but no, like, just notice how is it acting towards you. If it's obviously and blatantly roaring, it's the devil. If he's obviously attacking you and you're in a fight with it now, it's the devil. If it's something negative, it's the devil. But notice that the righteous fear of God comes with an authority, but it comes with also a calmness, comes with a firmness, comes with... He's just making his presence known to you, that he's there in your life, he's there with you, that he notices you, he sees you, he loves you. Like, he wants to let you know, like, he sees you, is what it is, I think. Because he can really, like, the whole dream, just, I don't want to go into the full, like, everything. But, like, I don't know, like, I just noticed it's not, it kind of just didn't make sense. At first, it didn't make sense. But, like, after the revelation, like, God told me, like, this is what it means in Lion of Judah, this, that, and the other. Like, it makes more sense, but I just still kind of don't know, like, it just came from nowhere, like... Like, what do you mean? You just came from nowhere and you came to sniff my hand and then you just walked off like nothing. Like, the tribe of Judah, all of his sons, all of his daughters, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunties, everyone part of that lineage now is going to also, they're going to inherit the blessings from Judah. because Jacob already made, his dad, Jacob, already made the proclamation to him. He already let him know what the future's going to look like for him, right? So everyone coming after him is also going to inherit that. And Jesus, he came after him as well. He was part of that lineage. So it literally says in Genesis 49, you are a lion's cub. You're part of the lion. Like, that's why he will represent himself as the lion, but also as the lamb. So 1 Peter verse 18 to 19, it says, for you know that it is not with corruptible things, with silver or gold, that you were set free from your futile way of life, handed down to you by your forefathers, but it was with precious blood, like that of an unblemished and spotless lamb, that of Christ. So that's him there as the lamb. And I feel like it's a good representation of, or how can I say, like, so if you think of the lion and the lamb, very different animals, very different characters, very different, like, they're just very different in nature, right? But it resembles the character of Jesus. Like, he has his soft, gentle, calm side, but he's got his lion authoritative, you know, assertive side. He's got his, like, what's the word? What's the word, Lord? What's the word? Like, because even when you think of a lion, like, if you just think of a lion right now coming towards you, even just walking towards you, are you not going to be scared? I'm going to be scared. Like, if I was just as scared in my dreams, how much more in real life? Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be scared. How much more would I be scared if he's running towards me, if he's roaring at me? I'm going to be scared. Oh yes. But it's like, it's a righteous fear that if Jesus, he shows himself as a lion, but it's to have a righteous fear of God. In Revelation chapter 5 verse 5, it says, but one of the elders said to me, stop weeping, look, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has conquered so as to open the scroll and its 7 seals. So literally, him letting you know there that the Lion of the tribe of Judah, which is the Lion of Jesus, which is Jesus, the Lion of Judah. I hope that makes sense. If not, please ask God for more information, clarification and confirmation. Last thing I wanted to say is that also, if you look at the size of the animal coming to you in your dreams, the size also represents like how big of, or how high in power that principality has. But also at the same time, if you think about the story of David and Goliath, that size doesn't always mean strength. Seeing an abnormally massive cat or an abnormally massive dog, it's showing you how big of, how much maybe the spirit of lust that you need to deal with. That's just a possibility. I'm not saying that's what it is, it's just a possibility. That if it's the cat, how big or how much power this witch has. That don't let it scare you at the end of the day, because even all of these powers, all of these principalities in high places, they're never going to be higher than Jesus. They're never going to have the power. That there's even just power in Jesus' name. How much more power in his presence? Do you know what I mean? So don't be intimidated by the size, by their powers. At the end of the day, like, prayer will break these powers. Prayer, fasting breaks, worship breaks, and it helps. Intimacy and relationship with God, it helps. They're all tactics of intimidation, deception, and they have to disguise themselves, they have to hide themselves as to not show themselves as to who they really are, because they don't want you to know really who they really are.
Espaço pelo amor da minha saúde mentalmente. Espaço para sentir o que eu sinto sem ser julgada. Espaço para analisar onde eu fui errada. Espaço preciso de Deus para resolver meus problemas.